Hey everybody, I'm Mark 3S MLE, and today we'll be having a look at a Smith Wesson Model 43C. This is an 8-shot, 22 caliber J-frame revolver. Let's shoot it a little bit. Hello friends, thanks for tuning in, and today's review is going to be on the Smith Wesson Model 43C. It's an 8-shot J-frame revolver that might be the snubby that you never even heard about. Now, we're going to talk about some of the features of this gun. We're going to shoot it a little bit and show you what I think this thing is good for. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started now. The Smith & Wesson Model 43C is a J-frame Smith & Wesson revolver. Quite boring if you ask me, but there are a few different quirks about it that make it interesting. It's not a 38 caliber, it's actually a 22 long rifle, but overall it does look a lot like a typical J-frame Smith & Wesson. It can take the same accessories, the same holsters, laser grips, etc. You have a barrel that's just under 2 inches, a hammerless Encino type of design, which means the gun can only be operated by a long pull of the trigger. Alright, we have a bit of Federal match ammunition, 40 grain solid. Have 8 rounds of it in our little Model 43C. Let's try it at the body at 7 yards and see what happens. Should we shoot double action or single action? What do you think? All right there. Let's go ahead and reel it in a little bit. That ain't too bad. The 43C is a bit different though. Let's start with the sights. The sights consist of an XS dot sight right there. You can see that. It's very, very visible, and you can actually interchange it because you have your pin right there. Just knock out the pin and change out the sight if you really wanted to, but this is very, very visible. And of course you have your rear notch sight, very low profile sights, but they're very, very usable. Of course, talk about the ejector rod. It's very, very short, but it's enough to kick the cases out most of the time. But the ejector rod is actually enclosed in a shroud. You can see right there. And there are lightning cuts in the back strap and under the trigger guard. And this helps with weight. Now this particular gun weighs 11.5 ounces fully loaded. That beats the pants off of a 38 Special lightweight revolver. That is very similar to this, like the Model 443 is basically the same gun, but more in tune to 15 ounces. Now what they did was those lightning cuts, you have your aluminum frame, which is very standard. You have an aluminum shroud over the steel barrel, which you can see right there. But the cylinder is also aluminum. Now you can get away with that in 22 long rifle because of the low pressures, but in 38 caliber you definitely can't go with an aluminum cylinder without fears of cracking, but in 22 long rifle that works just fine. The big question you might be asking yourself, why would you want the 43C over, say, a 38 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver that's just like this? Well, in all honesty, I can't classify this as a kit gun because Smith & Wesson has more kit-oriented style guns that have a longer barrel and you have a provision to cock the hammer to procure small game and have a type of wilderness beat-around gun. Now, this particular gun, when I first saw it, it made me think self-defense right off the bat because you have a hammerless design, which will not snag on clothing. You could fire this thing in a pocket if you had to. It just has a short barrel and some pretty good sights which jump out right at you. And of course, it's extremely lightweight. But it's in 22, the lowly 22 long rifle caliber. Now, why would you want to have a 22 revolver? Now, I was thinking about this, and really, the 22 rimfire is not the most reliable in the world, but it is pretty reliable, if that makes any sense. The good ammunition manufacturers produce ammunition which is extremely reliable. And this particular gun had absolutely no failures on the range, but then again, I wasn't using cheap ballpack ammo either. So, you have to pick your poison. Now, in a revolver, if you have a dud round, click, nothing happens, just pull the trigger again, and you're off to the next round. You're not clearing stoppages like you would in a 22 semi-auto. And you can get these rounds off extremely fast because there's virtually no recoil whatsoever, even with these CCI Stingers. Now, these CCI Stingers were going for me at just over 1,000 feet a second out of this particular handgun, and that equates to about 85 foot-pounds of energy, so it's not necessarily a man-stopper, but then again, you get 8 shots of those, and it's been extremely reliable. And if you can't handle, say, a small 38 or a small 380, which tend to recoil pretty severely, this might be a good option for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and this is Mark 3 SMLE, going out.